Why do you choose to speak with Tupac Nation as opposed to another forum?
Well, I've actually known Don for several years when he was first getting the site off the ground, and he had a split with his, I think some other people he was doing some business with, or whoever it was that was kind of sitting on the website at the time. When we started doing the original publicity for Assassination, this is clear back in 2006. There were a lot of websites that were out there of varying sizes, and Tupac Nation was the one that, to me, especially thanks to Don and several other people that were the core founders of the website, really reached out and really took an interest to the movies. And with the exception of a couple of things, I think that the majority of the time it's been just a really awesome experience. That's one reason. The second reason that with the Tupac Nation website differs from the others is that there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on. And it drives me absolutely nuts with some of the websites, and I won't mention any particular names, but some of the websites that, they claim to have an agenda, they claim to have a mission, and yet their entire website defeats the purpose of that mission. So don't name yourself something and name your website something that sets about a mission when you're really not interested in what that mission is in the first place.
So would you like to talk about your activity on the site and what's been going on?
A lot of what's going on, I've been really blessed over the last probably 2 years now. It's been now, believe it or not, I can't believe it's been almost 4 years since I did the second Assassination movie. We put it out in 2009, but it was edited, shot, cut, and dropped late part of 2008. So that's been 4 years now. And I needed to take a break from it for a little bit, so I kind of jumped off the websites. I jumped off the the chat boards and that, because you have a constant drone of negativity and death, and if you spend a lot of time in that particular examination of somebody's life, it tends to drag on you. So ultimately, I kind of got off the site for a little bit, and it was fun to just hop back in again. I'm in a much better place regarding the documentaries that I'm doing, and it's a lot of fun to get back into the website and not necessarily be holding to a particular point of view. So I've enjoyed it. It's been nice, and generally speaking, a couple of bad eggs, but other than that, it's been great, nice, healthy discourse with the fans, and I really enjoy the chit chat there.
Okay. Well, what is the current state of the Tupac Assassination movies? Are you planning any kind of re-release or a collector's director's cut?
Yeah, it's funny. We went in last August. I mean, the movies were looking kind of tattered. I looked at them last August, August 2011. I looked at them, and we spent a good chunk of change going to a post facility, and we literally overhauled both movies. Not so much in the content of the movies, but so much for the added bonus material. We had, thanks to Tracy Robinson, she had given us just volumes of footage, and we had thrown a lot of it into the second movie, Reckoning, which I gotta say is probably still my favorite of the two of them, but it certainly has much more footage in it. And we got it, and then when I went back to do part one again, I thought, well, let's put some stuff in there too. And so we did, and we packed both of them full of footage. A lot of that stuff that the movie's going to have, you probably will see it in those movies, in the recuts of those movies. Tracy's going to be sharing all that footage, so I don't think there's too much stuff that Eve got that she didn't have her hands on at some point or another.
Are you speaking on the 7 Days project? Are you saying that most of the footage that fans could see perhaps might be in this new re-release?
Yeah, I think I do. I said it on the chat board too. If you go up onto the U.S. Copyright Office, you'll see that Gobi and Tracy share copyrights on these tapes. I think they said there's like 13 tapes. I know that there were several videotapes that were shot, and I know that there was a bag full of audio tapes, and fortunately Tracy let me digitize those in 2008 when we were doing Assassination 2. That's how we got what we call the Tupac session tapes. Those audio tapes are really, really cool. Tracy actually took down notes when she would meet with Tupac regarding story ideas for music videos and all that, and she would take notes on a notepad. And Tupac just talked so fast that she got tired of trying to keep up with the notes, so she just brought a tape recorder to all of those meetings and just recorded the meetings. And so she has, hours and hours of conversations with Tupac on audio tape. And it's kind of raggedy audio, but she has those, and those were very telling. I think out of probably an hour worth of stuff that I have, I think maybe in Assassination we used 2 minutes, if that. So there's just a lot of stuff out there. But I think that from what Tracy has and what I've seen and what Gobi's seen, I would be shocked, and there could be some footage there, but I would be shocked if there was a lot of new material. Even in the trailer, there was material that had already been seen by the public and even in the Assassination movies. So, I think if you're gonna show new footage, put it in your trailer at least. You know what I mean? I mean, why show recycled footage in your trailer if I would make sure that every single frame was new, because when you watch a trailer and you see something that's already been recycled, that's kind of indicative of what's going on in the movie too.
You're talking about the tapes that Tracy had. Are you having any problems with the estate concerning any of the footage, audio or video?
Absolutely not. No, we have never had a single problem with the estate on any of our projects. And it's not only in testament to Frank's relationship with the Feeney and with the estate, but early on in the process, we involved the estate. I flew to New York. I met with the estate's attorneys. I vetted both movies with the estate. They saw them before they ever saw the public. When we interviewed Gloria Cox, I mean, obviously she wanted to see what her interview would look like, and of course we were happy to show her. I have a poster sitting beside me, a Tupac Assassination poster that we made. They were actually full movie-size posters. And in these posters, I took them down to the Tupac Center in Stone Mountain, Georgia for Tupac's birthday celebration, and had the entire family sign my poster, including the Feeney. So, obviously she's not going to sign a poster for Tupac Assassination if she doesn't agree with the subject matter. And I think that's a fairly safe statement to make on what the estate thinks of our projects.
Well, because I think the fans, they want to know that the estate's on board. You have some people that do want to see so-called bootleg footage. But I'm thinking that the majority of the fans want to know that the state is agreeing with it, and that the estate is behind it, even if not financially.
Absolutely. Well, that's the important thing, is that the estate can make a lot of waves. They can make a lot of trouble. I've talked to their attorneys many, many, many times. They can make life either very easy for you or very difficult for you. I mean, there's a couple things to understand too. Bear in mind that if it's not music and it's not his voice, with the documentary, there's a very, very wide gray area there in terms of what you're able to use fairly and what you're able to use commercially. Essentially the doctrine of fair use is something that you'll hear about a lot. People try to use it all the time on YouTube to get away with ripping stuff off. Lord knows they've ripped off the Assassination movies a billion times. Fair use really just basically says that if there's no other way that you can explain a concept or a topic other than using this particular footage, that generally it's okay to use. And that works out okay, great, when you're defending yourself in court. But just remember, and I say this to anybody wanting to do a documentary, it's a good defense. Don't ever start with the idea that you've got fair use in your back pocket, because it's going to cost you $50,000, $75,000 in attorney fees before you even get to the point where you can talk about fair use. So just remember that. If somebody comes to you and says you got a copyright, they got a copyright on it, you can cry fair use, but it's going to be fair use plus $50,000 to get you where you need to go. So just always make sure that you're clear, and that's what we did with the estate. We cleared everything we do with the estate.
Can you give us a teaser of like something that will surprise us on this re-release?
I think ultimately, I think what you're going to see, and I hate to say it's more of the same, but it really is. I mean, we took several scenes, end cuts from some of the music videos, some of the alternate takes from the music videos. That was one of the things that we got was we actually got copies of the masters from two of America's Most Wanted, and They Dig Us, I think, is the one we had, if I'm not mistaken. And they weren't the masters in the sense that they were the finished DVD or finished video master. They were actually the masters of the dailies, which included the outtakes, the end cuts, alternate takes, things they didn't even use in the music video. So it's always kind of fun to see that because you can see if Tupac, did the same scene 5 times in a row, you get all kinds of different takes and different actions each time. So we have more of the same in that regard. We just put a whole lot more of it in both movies.
Is there more studio footage?
No. Let me make that absolutely clear because I think that goes around there. Let me get this out here. I have what footage Frank has. There is no more. What you see between Before I Wait and the Assassination movies is the entire sum and substance of the studio footage that Frank had. There is no more. Okay? There just isn't. And, if there would have been, unfortunately, he had actually, that day they were doing the videotape, they had videotaped it with 2 cameras. And unfortunately, one of the people that was supposed to be recording was paying more attention to Tupac than they were the record button. And they went the whole time and didn't record an ounce of footage.